While growing up, I was always taught by my parents to prioritize and be knowledgeable about my sleep. For we spend approximately one third of our lives asleep. To become more knowledgeable, I had to understand the mechanics of sleep, therefore its stages. That being said, there's also a lot of confusion around the topic as well. According to the audience survey that I created, approximately 60% of the participants were unaware of the actual stages of sleep that occur. In actuality, there are four stages of sleep, and these stages can be categorized as either non-REM stages and REM stages. And as Shelby Harris once wrote, so the deeper stages of sleep are really those times of quiescence. You're really restoring your body, and we have few different stages of sleep. The first stage that people fall into is what's known as non-rapid eye movement, stage 1, or more commonly referred to as light sleep. According to a newspaper article on bbc.co.uk titled The Science of Sleep, during the first stage of sleep, we're half awake and half asleep. Our muscle activity slows down and slight twitch may occur. Since this initial stage begins the process of sleep cycle, you are more susceptible to being awake, especially compared to the other stages of sleep. And the stage that follows this is called non-REM stage 2, which is also known as true sleep. And this stage generally lasts around 20 minutes while the heart rate and the breathing slow down, creating a cooler body temperature in the process. And in Dr. David Carley's academic journal, which is titled The Physiology of Sleep, he references how typically the skeletal muscle activity exhibits progressively decreasing amplitude with transitions from wakefulness to non-REM stage 2. Now, because we've delved deeper into sleep after the first stage, it would only make sense for our bodies, more specifically our muscles, to follow the patterns of our breathing and heart rates. This demonstrates more of a cause and effect relationship, seeing as how when the heart rate slows, it also starts to decrease the amount of blood flow throughout the body, which then decreases the intensity of our muscles. And with our muscles becoming less frequently used, we start to fall deeper into sleep. It only makes sense that this is due to the decline in our breathing and our heart rate. The preceding stage that is referred to as non-REM stage 3, which is primarily known as deep sleep. During this time of the cycle, a variety of things happen, which range from being unaware of outside stimuli and to the secretion of chemicals that further the process of sleep. The way the body starts to transition into this stage is through the entrance of delta waves. Delta waves are high amplitude brain waves with a frequency oscillation between 0.5 and 4 hertz. According to an article found in the newspaper The Fountain, which is written by Omer Yildiz, which is titled The Stages of Sleep, the presence of delta waves hints at the disengaged traffic between the cortex and the lower nervous system components, which are the thalamus, the hypothalamus, the brainstem, and the hippocampus. And this condition also shows that the person is in deep rest, which is free from pain and other bodily stimuli. Now, with these waves present, the body and the brain will begin to reach optimal relaxation and will not be able to be disturbed during this process. And while delta waves are radiating throughout the body, they also start to secrete a hormone called melatonin, which, according to the article of Stages of Sleep, which protects against cancer and slows down the aging process, while lowering bad cholesterol and balancing body heat and body temperature. This stage not only promotes the benefits of sleep itself, but also presents the potential for bettering one's health by reaching this stage in order to produce melatonin and delta waves. Finally, the most popular stage in this cycle is called rapid eye movement, which is also known as REM sleep. This stage of rest is widely considered to be the most important stage in the entire sleep cycle. It's the most referenced portion of sleep because this is when dreaming occurs. Now, in the book Why We Sleep, which is written by Professor of Neuroscience and Psychology Matthew Walker, PhD, he corroborates the idea of dreaming in the REM stage as reigning supreme in the second half of the night. Seeing as how we spend most of our time in REM sleep than all the three stages combined, this can show the importance of REM sleep along with the overall decrease in stress and anxiety that we face each day. Now, later in the novel, Walker explains how a key function of non-REM sleep, which predominates early in the night is to do the work of weeding out and removing unnecessary neural connections. In contrast, the dreaming stage of REM sleep, which prevails later in the night, plays a role in strengthening those connections. So while releasing your conscious mind from its worries of the previous day, the REM stage allows you to focus internally and become better at using your cognition for tomorrow's ventures, such as reading, problem solving, or just having the energy to be positive throughout the day. And as Matthew Walker later says in his book, the shorter you sleep, the shorter your life is. Now, in conclusion, the cycles of sleep are a very complex yet very crucial portion of people's lives and should be regarded as such. For if we understand what happens when we sleep during these 4 stages, we can prioritize it and become the best versions of ourselves. Thank you.